Hey, good morning. Welcome to the LA Life Podcast. It is October 2nd is our date. A little bit of sunshine out there today. Farmers are hoping to get back out into the fields. It's a busy time around here. It's a good time as well. So welcome to our time together, just a little midweek touch, a little midweek information for you. And I've been saying this, we're in 1 Corinthians 13 on Sundays, and we've been looking at this idea of what love is not and what love is. And this week we're going to look at this as the Apostle Paul says, love rejoices with the truth. So in other words, love rejoices with the truth. It's happy, it's glad when truth happens, when we hear things. And there's a lot of scriptures on this. Jesus is the truth. We know that. But there's also this idea of how do we tell somebody truth, but also do it lovingly at the same time. And we've all been a part of that where it's not been done lovingly. We've also been a part of it where it's been done lovingly. And so I've just jumped right in. Here we go. I want to read from John chapter 16. Jesus has been teaching the disciples. If you go back to chapter 13, he's washed their feet. He's told them about somebody's going to betray them. He's given them a new commandment. He talks about Peter's denial. He reminds them in chapter 14 that he is the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. He promises the Holy Spirit. Chapter 15, he talks about the true vine and abiding in him. And then we get to 16, and I want to read some verses, and I want you to hear Jesus telling the truth, but he also does this lovingly. Listen to what he says, starting in verse 1 of chapter 16. I have said all these things to you to keep you from falling away. They will put you out of the synagogues. Indeed, the hour is coming when whoever kills you will think he is offering service to God, and they will do these things because they have not known the Father nor me. But I have said these things to you that when their hour comes, you may remember that I told them to you. Let me just pause there. So Jesus, building off of what he says at the end of chapter 15, when he says, the world hated me, the world is going to hate you, so it's not going to be easy. He now comes along and he says, I'm telling you this because I don't want you to fall away. You will be put out of the synagogues. So he tells them, you're going to face struggle and difficulty. So you can hear him lovingly telling them the truth as to what's going to happen. He says, you will be killed for your service to God. Well, we know that that's true for all of them except for John. John's the only one. He died of an old man on an island all alone. But the rest of them were killed horribly as martyrs. And so he's lovingly telling them things that's going to happen. Listen to what else. Let me pick back up then let's see here, verse 4. He says, I did not say these things to you from the beginning because I was with you. So Jesus said, I've been with you for 3 years. I've been able to protect you. I've been able to take care of you. But now I'm going to leave. I'm going to go. I'm not going to be with you anymore. And you're going to come under persecution. He does tell them that he's going to leave the Holy Spirit with them. The Helper is going to come and be there with them. All right, hopefully you're with me. I want to get down to this verse. This is kind of the main verse when we think about this idea of loving and truth working together. Jesus says this, when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all the truth, for he will not speak on his own authority, but whatever he hears, he will speak, and he will declare to you the things that are to come. So Jesus says, when the Spirit of truth, when the Holy Spirit is going to be with you, it's going to be about truth. It's going to tell you the things you need to know. But here's the word that caught my attention. He will guide you into all the truth. And so the Holy Spirit is a guide into truth. So Jesus, lovingly talking to his disciples, tells them that there's going to be one that comes, the Holy Spirit, that's going to guide them into the truth. This into word, we know is a preposition, and as I looked at it, it's this idea of it's going to lead you into a marker of location. That's this into preposition. It's a marker of location. So Jesus lovingly tells his disciples their life will be marked by association with Jesus, which is the truth. Right? Kind of let that sink in for just a moment. Jesus says to them, the Spirit of truth is going to lead you into the truth, which means your life is going to be marked by association. So it's kind of like a boundary stone. If you own any property out there right now, there's boundary markers that kind of identify your area. Jesus is saying to these guys, your life is going to be marked by a boundary stone. You're going to be marked with me. You're going to be associated with me, which is why they're going to end up and lose their lives. But Jesus is telling them the truth. He said, it's going to happen. But is there any better place to be marked with than with Jesus? I mean, that's really kind of what I pull out of that is going, if I have to be identified with somebody, if I have to be marked by my location, if I have to be associated with someone, I'd rather it be Jesus than anyone else. And that's what we hear Jesus telling his disciples towards the end of his life, as he says, listen, guys, you're going to be marked by the truth. And the truth is me, and that's going to be your boundary marker. You're going to be associated with me, and it eventually is going to cost your life. But I love how Jesus lovingly tells his followers, hey guys, that's what's going to happen. So there you go. It's just something simple on a midweek. I guess my challenge would simply be this. Who are you marked with? Who do you want to be marked with? If you are going to be guilty of association, right? And often you're guilty of association by who you spend time with. Who better to be guilty of association than people going, hey, he's guilty of association. He's with Jesus. To me, that's a great place to be marked, and that is a truth statement for us today. So there you go. I don't know if that made any sense in my own mind. I'm like, I don't know. Did that make any sense at all? I think so. It works somewhere in there. Hopefully you get something out of that today. Have a great day.